Deion Sanders, search for a new defensive coordinator. I have patience. I have to get it right. But when you come across this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Well, Deion Sanders is in the news again because Deion Sanders is in search of a new defensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes. But he recently said he has patience and he has to get it right. Now, Deion Sanders has been in the news lately because of what he's doing in the transfer portal and getting these guys to commit to Colorado. Now he has to get his coaching staff intact, and he's missing a key component, and that's the defensive coordinator. Now, you know, Charles Kelly left the Colorado Buffaloes once the season ended to go on to, greater pastures. But now Deion Sanders is in search for a new defensive coordinator. Now, Deion Sanders recently had a team meeting, and he was telling the coaches, I like everything that we have here. Pat Shermer is the new offensive coordinator. A lot of guys left, Coach Prime after the season to go on to do bigger and better things at different schools. And Deion Sanders was all for it. But now what he is doing is he is trying to focus on building his coaching staff up and getting the right players in with these coaches, and these coaches in with these players to get things back going for the 2024 season. Now, recently, Deion sat down with RG3 and basically said that he's down to 3 candidates. Also, he had an exclusive interview, and he talked about what he's looking for in his defensive coordinator. Let's take a listen to what Deion Sanders had to say.
Place this emphasis on getting it right.
I'm going to get it right, and it's going to be professionals, not just coaches that coach at the highest level in the NFL, but coaches that can relate to the kids, to the rest of the staff, as well as to me, that can propel these kids to their destination. And sometimes we make decisions based on emotions and based on pressure, and I don't fall prey to that. There's a multitude of teams out there don't have a complete staff. We have what we need. I mean, there's really no coaching going on right now. Really what's going on right now is getting ready to start back recruiting. But we had a whole recruiting staff for that, so the coaches, they do their things as well by going on the road to watch. But right now, I want them to build those relationships here with these young men. So we still have time. And you got to understand, pros, the NFL season is just ending. Mm-hmm. So some of those well sought after coaches are doing interviews. And I got patience and I got time.
Now, you heard what Deion Sanders had to say. He said he got patience and he got time. And basically what he wants to do is bring in the right defensive coordinator that can relate to the kids and they can respond to them as well as responding to Coach Prime. Now, there was reports out there about Warren Sapp, but there's also reports out there that, people are trying to sabotage that relationship and they don't want Warren Sapp a part of that coaching staff. I don't know if somebody looked into the history. They did a thorough investigation, and right now, Deion stood pat on that. So now he's looking for the right person to come in to be the defensive coordinator. But there's still reports out there that, Warren Sapp could possibly be the defensive line coach. Now, there's also reports in about Ray Lewis, Lovie Smith, Ed Reed as potential candidates for the defensive coordinator position. But you heard what Coach Prime said there. He wants to get it right. He's not rushing. Right now, it's a lot of downtime. I know the spring ball is approaching, but right now he's focused on recruiting. So he's not going to rush to judgment to hire a defensive coordinator. He let all the people know on the staff that this is going to be a process. But there's reports out there on, the coaching vacancy, because, the Buffs, they lost our offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, which, he took a job at San Diego State, head coaching job. And also, seen other assistants depart as well. Charles Kelly, like I stated, is the Buffs defensive coordinator. He left for a job at Auburn. So that defensive coordinator position is vacant. But also, Deion Sanders did say that he's down to 3 candidates for the vacant defensive coordinator position. And like he said, he mentioned earlier that those guys might currently be interviewing for NFL jobs. Coach also defends Pat Shurmur as his offensive coordinator. So it's crazy that, Deion stood pat on that and he's trying to get it right. So basically, Sanders didn't mention any names but said they know the game. On top of that, he was quick to defend, like I said, Pat Shurmur. Now, the defensive coordinator search should get wrapped up soon for the Buffaloes, but Coach Prime is confident he will get it right. So that's the major part, that he wants to get it right. And I see if he gets it right, building a great coaching staff to build on what they have brought in the recruiting class and the guys that are committing, it's going to be very interesting to see how these players respond to what Deion Sanders is bringing in. But like I said, it's to no surprise that, the reports was out there about, Warren Sapp. But like I said, I think that got sabotaged, and a lot of people don't think that would have been the right decision for Deion Sanders to make. But there's other guys out there such as Lovie Smith, like I said, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and the guys that he didn't mention, he was mum on. These guys are in the NFL and they're getting interviewed for head coaching jobs in the NFL. So at this time, Deion Sanders is looking to bolster that coaching staff. But like I've always say, Colorado is trending in the right direction. Deion Sanders is doing great things. He's landed some big fishes in the recruiting portal, in the transfer portal, getting guys to commit. Some guys have flipped their commitment. Some guys have decommitted from Colorado, but that's all the nature of college football. Cats go commit to these schools, last minute decisions, and they decommit. It happens all the time. But Colorado is in the news hot and heavy for the things that Deion Sanders is doing behind closed doors. But now the focus is getting the right offensive coordinator in to help these kids out on the defensive side of the ball, because what they have done in this transfer portal, they brought some heavy hitters in on the defensive side of the ball to go alongside of what they already had in Travis Hunter, Cormani McClain, Roderick Ward, Shiloh Sanders. Now they bringing in these other guys that are coming from these other schools that are coming to Colorado, and that's just going to bolster it up. The offensive line pieces that they have gained, the big fish in Jordan Seaton, everybody's impressed of what he can do to keep that offensive line intact, to keep Shedeur Sanders upright, because like I've always said, give Shedeur Sanders time in that pocket to step up and make plays, he can surgically pick you apart. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, you got 2 lockdown corners in Travis Hunter and Cormani McClain. Cormani McClain, he's been working in the offseason with Travis Hunter. So that should help him out, build his confidence up for him to get on the field and trust the process. Now, you got the heavy hitter in Shiloh Sanders. He's the safety. He anchors that defense. Also, you got Roderick Ward, a young up-and-coming talent, a star in his own right. Also, the guys that they brought in, you still got Silman Craig. It's, Bishop Thomas on the defensive tackle. The issue with him. He's been suspended indefinitely. We should have some information on how long that suspension is going to last. But at this time, Deion Sanders said he has patience. He will get it right. And he's going to get this defensive coordinator position right for the person that he needs for the job. So in this sense, like I've always said, Colorado's doing big things, trending in the right direction. So guys, let me know what y'all think. Who do you think will be the next defensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes? Please post your comments. Please share this video out. Please give it a thumbs up. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.